Good morning. We are live on Cubcan TV. This is Brekky In The Cave. How are we doing this morning, my friends? This one, brand new from Rosca and Tasty Lopez. This one's Static, the winner of our Freshest Fry Award last week. Got an amazing show on the way, and I'm going to be letting you know all about it in just a second. So please do like the video, get some comments popping in the chat section. We hit 300 subs over the weekend, so woo! On to the next level we go. Super smooth vibes on this one. Sounds of Rosca and Tasty Lopez. Static. Wicked tune. This one is out now via Rosca Kicks and Snares. Good morning to my locked-in crew. How are we doing? That one there coming from Rosca and Tasty Lopez. Track entitled Static. How are we feeling this morning? Out to everyone supporting the channel nice and early on a Monday morning. That's like we'd like to see. I tell you what, I'm feeling a little bit worse for wear today. I won't lie. I've got into this weird pattern I'm finding with Monday mornings where I'll get my sleeping pattern sorted by the end of the week. Then over the weekend I'll kind of go, cool, I can relax a little bit, not be up super early or whatever. And then come Monday, I'll get to like 3-4 o'clock in the morning and I'll still be lying there wide awake. So bear with me. I may be a little bit slow today, but we'll get there. We've got some amazing guests on the way as well, who I'm sure will be providing plenty of entertainment. Let's talk about what we've got coming up on today's show then here on Brekky In The Cave. Amazing couple of guests we've got going on. We've got Ruben Da Silva joining us first of all. Now, for those who don't know who Ruben Da Silva is, he is a legend when it comes to reggae in Brighton and reggae in the UK, as far as I'm concerned. One of the most established and accomplished vocalists to kind of land in the UK. Originally based in Brighton, and and now he lives in London, so we're going to be talking to him on the phone from around 10:30ish. Really looking forward to that conversation, and more than anything else, I'm really enjoying this kind of this foray into reggae music we've been able to do since doing this show live. Obviously, we've in the past we've spoken to Mungo's Hi-Fi, we've spoken to the Heatwave, we've spoken to Nice Up Records and Roots Garden and loads of people, and I'm finding with this show now the foundation is very much there for us to kind of push on and look into exactly what else is going on in and around the UK for when it comes to reggae, and then internationally as well. As I said the end of last week, we've got our first international reggae guest this week as well. That's coming up on Thursday, but we're talking about that in just a little while. Second guest today is going to be Vital Techniques. Now, this is an amazing production duo from Leeds, if you haven't heard of them already. At the minute, they're focusing very much on a sort of northern grime sound, which is really cool to see, getting loads of MCs involved, very much people of their community, which I really like to see. There's nothing I love more than people building a scene where they are, rather than leaving it to go and help build something somewhere else. I love that. Be a part of where you're from. That's what I really, really like to see. But yeah, they're going to be on the show from around 11ish, looking through their brand new single, which did drop on Friday. As well as that, we are also going to be premiering a brand new track from Afriqua, and I'm so excited for this one. They've sent me over the premiere link to it, so the first place you're ever going to hear it is here, and we're going to be playing that in just a second. There's a really cool way to kick off the morning. Locked in crew this morning, please do leave a little message in the chat. Let us know where you're listening in from. Let us know where you are, how you're finding lockdown. Let's get some conversation going, man. Let's have a conversation this morning. I can see a fair few of you locking in nice and early, so let's keep that momentum going. You know, the channel hit 300 subs over the weekend. I'm feeling that the interaction is getting higher, the views are getting higher, the subs are getting higher, the likes are getting higher. In general, the channel seems to be going in a good place. So let's make these shows in the morning the cornerstone of that. Let's make these shows in the morning a real place where people can come, have a conversation, and listen to good vibes. That's what we're here to do. You know, that's very much what we are here to do. So leave a little message in the conversation. Let us know where you're listening in from, and how you are feeling about the different tracks we are going to play, because we're going to kick off with this one, a brand new premiere, exclusive business. This is going to be the first time this tune has been heard anywhere on the internet, and this is coming from Afriqua, which I am very, very excited about. This one going by the name of Ndeke Solo. Amazing tune. I can't wait to get into this one, and I hope you are all going to enjoy it just as much as I'm looking forward to enjoying it. So there we go. Don't go anywhere, guys. youtube.com/Brekky In The Cave. Hit that subscribe button if it's your first time listening in. As I said, we've actually gone from realistically around 30 to 40 subs, I think it was, to 300 in 10 weeks. So we are growing. We're definitely going to be a channel to keep an eye on in the future when it comes to UK music. So definitely, if it's your first time locking in and that's something you're interested in, please do hit the subscribe button. We've got loads of good stuff on the way. Oh, yes.
The meaning. So Ndeko Solo mean, my friend, it is true. Time is a gift which we share all the time.
Stunning tune, this one, brand new world exclusive from the wonderful, the untouchable Afriqua. I had a real good time interviewing them last year. I've seen them live a couple of times now. Amazing group, do go and check them out. But yeah, that's a brand new world exclusive here from Afriqua with Ndeke Solo. Thank you to everyone locking in this morning. Let us know how you're feeling about that one. I've got a funny feeling my system's a little bit out of sync, which I don't really know why that is, but we're going to try and fix it towards the end of the show, obviously. Want to make sure the show is running smoothly. As you will be able to see on your screens, we do now have a brand new subscribe button, which pops up just like that, which is really enjoyable. I want to send a massive shout out to you and Simon for putting that together for me. He popped up in my inbox the other day, literally yesterday morning, saying congrats on 300 subs, here's a little present for you, and he gave me that, so it means we can now actually have like some more live interaction in the streams as we move forward. So we're leveling up, people. We are leveling up here on Brekky in the Cave. But yeah, massive shouts out to Afriqua for sending that one over. I'd love to do more of these sort of world exclusives as we move forward. Obviously, we've got now the reaction element to the channel, which is really fun, and the fact that we are now able to kind of put together different types of videos with the top fives. Out to everyone who checked out the Manu Leng top 5 as well, which did drop over the weekend, which sounds which looks really good. It sounds really good from what we can see, and the feedback's been really useful as well. We've got loads more on the way. I think we're going to be doing Rude Kid next. There we go, bit of an exclusive for you. So if you haven't seen a top 5 video yet, do check that out after this show, because they're quite informative. You know, I do a fair bit of research into them. I'd spend a good couple of hours researching every tune we end up picking and finding out about it. So yeah. But yeah, let's move forward then. Let's move into the first bit of news we're going to be looking at today, which does, of course, kind of look through what's kind of popping. You know what I mean? I mean, how many people saw this versus clash, this Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer clash? I mean, it seems to be the talk of the internet. Everyone seems to be sharing primarily the clip of the funeral song, which everyone's been sharing. But Beanie Man and Bounty Killer going back and forth over it. Bounty Killer with one of the swaggiest walks off of victory I've ever seen. But yeah, obviously we've been discussing clash culture a fair bit on this show. It's been quite enjoyable to do, and all of these not little clashes, that's a really bad thing to say, but all of these other clash platforms that have been popping up. We've been seeing Instagram clashes, we've been seeing all of these different types of things, but then we finally see a proper sound clash between two of the best to ever do it in regards to dancehall and that more sort of that dancehall world, you know, that real sort of system culture world. Beanie Man, Bounty Killer, two absolute legends, went back and forth over the weekend. And I believe you can actually check out the entire video now on YouTube if you've missed it. I think it's about an hour and 20 minutes. I was skimming through bits this morning. I think it's still up on the Instagram as well. But yeah, you can check it out on YouTube as well. So really cool to see. And I think it's fun to look at how system culture is moving forward. Out to King's Hi-Fi in the chat this morning. Yes, salute Brighton family every single time. It's what we like to see, man. It's a very good it's a very good Brighton following, I feel, in regards to reggae music and clash culture as well. I think we're actually quite a good place for it. But yeah, out to everyone locking in this morning. Let's keep things moving. As I said before, at Cub KXVU. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do hit subscribe. We do stream here live Monday to Friday from 10 till 11:30. We like to keep things nice and fresh, nice and vibrant during this lockdown period. And yeah, it's very fun to do. It is all very fun to do, and I enjoy this show greatly. So your support is also very much appreciated. Also, hit that like button. I know all of you watching can see that like button, and you're going, oh, I don't know if I can be bothered. Go on, hit it. It takes about 3 seconds of your life. So we're going to hit you with another one of these. There you go. Subscribe and do all that good stuff there. I love this button. So much fun. Let's move forward then into another banger. We're going to keep it quite dubwise this morning purely because of our first guest is someone I'm very excited to talk to. But before that, we're going to get into this one. Brand new from Shanice McMenamin, I believe that's how you pronounce it, along with Prince Fatty. This one, Love Me Right, forthcoming reggae business. I can't wait to get into this one. I'm loving the fact we're getting fresh reggae music these days. It's so much fun.
You better love me right. You can hold me. You can tell me if you want me, babe. You better love me right. Love me right in the morning. You can squeeze me. You can tease me if you want love me right in the morning.
Wicked flavours on this one.
Wanna lose me, love me right in the morning.
Shanice McMenamin and Prince Fatty.
I'm yours in every way. We're gonna make a lot of mayhem.
Why is there no reggae breakfast show? I don't understand why there isn't one.
As long as you love me in the kind and pick your way. You can own me. You can own me. If you own me, baby, better love me right. Love me right in the morning. You can squeeze me. You can tease me. If you want to please me, love me, baby. Love me right in the morning. I'm yours in every way. I'll do anything you say. I'll be yours till the end of time. As long as you love me when the clock strikes 9. You can't use me. No, you can't abuse me. If you don't wanna lose me, love me right in the morning. Love me right in the morning.
Wicked flavours on this one. Shanice McMenamin with Prince Fatty. This one, Love Me Right. Exclusive business out to the Gorilla promo gang, sending that one over. Man like Shepdog, how are you doing this morning? Out to all my locked in crew, let us know where you are listening in from. I can see the chat is starting to fill out. Out to Carol, out to King's Hi-Fi, out to Hannah as well, and of course all my silent listeners. But do let us know where you're listening in from. It's cool to find out where people are locking in from and get some background on all of you as well. It's fun to know who we're speaking to in the mornings. But yeah, we're going to be talking to a man like Ruben Da Silva in around 10 minutes. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's going to be a big one for the show. It's one I've been looking forward to doing for a while. It's one I've wanted to get on a form of interview with for a while. You know, it's definitely one of those ones that's been in the calendar to kind of go, right, are we in a position to do it? Let's do it. Let's get it done. So yeah, and that's what I'm finding now with this station. We're definitely station channel. Why do I keep calling it a station? I'm finding more than anything, we're asking people to come on the show, and they're actually more than happy to do so now. They're very much going, oh, I was going to ask you anyway. So yeah, we're in a really cool position with stuff like that. Let's have a little look at a random piece of news. I like to throw in a bit of fun news every single morning when we do the show, just to, you know, brighten people's mornings up, which is definitely something I feel people need to be doing a little bit more of, because it's pretty doomy and gloomy out there. And I'm not saying for a second that we should ever ignore the importance of what's going on in the news. I think it's very important to stay up to date with things. However, we can still have a good time even during this lockdown period. So we're going to be looking today at a seagull which flies into a woman's house and vomits on a kitchen counter. That's how we're starting the day off today. Video footage shows the seagull waltzing through the Brighton living room. It's Brighton news as well. Well, I didn't know that. As seemingly terrified tenants Natalie Wettenbach and Charlotte Morley, 28, tried to get it to leave. So, who's experienced an issue with seagulls before? Are they as terrorsome as we have been told? Because in Brighton, obviously, I've done interviews about seagulls before. Yes, that's where my life has gone before. We've done interviews about seagulls, and we've heard stories of seagulls snatching sandwiches from hands, snatching pastries, ripping bins apart. But like, what's the worst thing that's happened to you with a seagull? Because it's a funny one. I've definitely been like clipped by one before. I reckon I'm pretty sure I've been clipped by one when I've been like just sat down on the beach and one's just gone like straight past my head, knocked me sideways. But yeah, this is quite interesting. They're invading homes now, so we've got to be careful. As soon as they work out how to use doors, that's game over for us. But yeah, the bird was seen waddling around to cries of "Get out!" before it flies across the room, appearing to head towards the garden door. But then it takes a detour into the kitchen counter and begins to gag. After being sick on the work surface, it then flies into the garden before eventually being shooed away from the scene. So there we go. It flew by just to throw up in someone's house. There we go. Seagulls are on binges now. Proper binges these days. Amazing stuff. Let's move into some more fresh music then. This one coming from Marissy. He was a guest on the show last week, and I absolutely love this tune. It's brand new from him. Absolutely loving the fact that we're getting so much new Brighton-based music at the moment, and it's sick to see. As I said before, new listeners, please do hit that subscribe button. Makes a huge difference when we get subscribers. Basically subscribing to the channel during the show, because it ups the reach of the show. It means more people see it on their timelines, etc, etc. And hit like on the video as well. That makes a massive difference if you are locked in this morning. So there we go. Let's get into this one. Brand new music from the Brighton Familiar. This one, Marissy with West Baby. Oh yes.
In a world of more division or wisdom, too many isms. Corrupted systems always fall on us, the victims. With trust, cause this is just the world that we're living in. There is no moral compass and our country has a bigger sin. Except for the West, maybe, not me, even though I'm a West baby. Living in this Babylon, you know it gets crazy. That's why we bun herbs and we get wavy. 4936 nil, we just chill. Bill Yard, Bill Zola, been all ill will. 4936 nil, we just chill. Bill Yard, Bill Zola, been all ill will. Late nights at the cemetery gates, just trying to read the future. You can either be a winner or you'll be a loser. I'm not trying to be a worm, I'm trying to be a rooster. Making new music on an old computer, cause time keeps rushing and wondering will I get there. I rest barely and sometimes it gets scary. I have to remind myself I'm blessed or I'm stressed out, I get low. Breathe in and let go and let's go. Small things make the biggest difference. Take it step by step and make it bigger and bigger until you get that check. I'm still in the rat race, I haven't left that yet. And I'll always have faith so I can bet my death. In the West maybe Africa, but still I am a West baby. Living in this Babylon, you know it gets crazy. That's why we bun herbs and we get wavy. 4936 nil, we just chill. Bill Yard, Bill Zola, been all ill will. 4936 nil, we just chill. Bill Yard, Bill Zola, been all ill will. I'm handler, humble, move like Black Mamba. Blues and the stanza, too juicing. Take me back to Fubu and Bluetooth. Alizé blue in the alleyway with my dude Rude. Trying to find the next party a long time before Polo and Ed Hardy. When everything mad but it didn't really. Now life has the pattern, got the vision clearly. In the West they seek fortune and a couple big ladies. Living in this Babylon I just want stability. That's why I bun herb and I deal with synergy.
Awesome flavours on this one from Marissy. Brighton Familiar, that's what we like to see. We're going to be jumping on the phone with Ruben Da Silva in just a second. We're just working out what we're going to be calling via, be it Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. Have I got to put another number into the phone? Essentially, that's what we're trying to work out at the moment. But yeah, wicked stuff on this one. Super smooth flavours. That's how we're keeping it this morning. Very, very smooth, looking through different genres of music. UK stuff specifically, of course, and getting into some dubwise flavours as well. That's what we like to see. Out to everyone locked in this morning. It's been a very enjoyable start to the show. Out to everyone getting involved with the show as well. You know, we like to keep things nice and fresh. And there we go. So what we're going to be looking at next is another interesting bit of news. Looking through this, I've got loads of news articles lined up here, which I want to kind of get through at different points in time. But yeah, let's have a look at this this little news nugget right here on my screen. Let's just bring that up so that we can see. So we've seen Wireless have announced the virtual festival Wireless Connect. This is interesting. Wireless Festival unfortunately had to be cancelled this year due to the current situation, which we all know about it. I'm not going to go on about it. But the organisers aren't leaving us empty-handed, as they've revealed that Wireless Connect, a 3-day festival which is going to be running virtually from the 3rd until the 5th of July. This was announced via a tweet, and it does look very, very smooth and synergetic. If that's not a word, I've just made it a word, so we'll go with it. Wireless Connect will have the entire weekend's worth of unseen performances and exclusive footage to go with that as well. Pre-recorded performances on the Melody VR app will be available in 360 virtual reality, with content streamed to the Facebook Wireless page. Bespoke pre-recorded content on Instagram and Twitter will guide you through the stream of your favourite artists, so you never actually miss a moment of what's going on. The full lineup is yet to be announced, but we see Drake, Stormzy, Migos and Travis Scott among artists that have already performed at the festival in the past, so we can expect some of the hottest musicians in the scene to be taking part in the virtual festival as well. This is good. I like this. Melvin Ben managing director of Festival Republic, said there's no more forward-thinking festival than Wireless, and there's no more forward-thinking way of hosting a festival than in 360 VR, which is pretty much true. Virtual reality 360 is essentially the future. It's what people were talking about 20 years ago as being this super futuristic thing, and now it's here. So we are living in the future, as they say. They say we'll be filming artists in Melody VR's amazing studio space in LA, built not just for this purpose in the historic theatre in Ali Pali, which Melody VR will turn into a wireless connect. No one has done this before, so this is a first. This is a genuine first that's going to be happening. Really interesting stuff. Out to everyone in the chat this morning. Out to Papa D joining us. Good morning. Good morning. Out to Sugar Demas as well. This should be a good one. We're going to be jumping on the phone with a man like Ruben Da Silva in just a second. Before that, though, let's get into some smooth flavors. What should we run? I've got loads of good stuff to play this morning, so I need to make sure I'm picking something that is nice and smooth. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get into this one from what's his name? Vision Alexander and Jesse Royal. This one, we're keeping it quite dubwise this morning, which is sick to see. This one goes by the name of Right Now, featuring Jesse Royal, and Vision Alexander will be joining us on the show on Thursday. So there we go. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're live on Cubcam TV. Oh yes.
Yeah, man. Why Sean me I try hold it out another? You understand? But still got Papi number on my phone, isn't it? Sure. Yeah.
Oiga, papá, apareció el fantasma, ¿no?
Oye, got.
Bueno, lo que necesite, usted sabe que yo lo cuido. ¿Cuánto?
But I love 100 pound, a greatest reach my foot right now. Now go like that would I could right now. 100 pound, a greatest touch my foot right now. Now go like that would I could right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now. Hear me no shot. Indigo sativa, hope so you reach her. But to not heal her, still look you have asthma. Book it for your son, it come, make sure it vacuum seal her. Them dog you knows are good for smell out every reefer. Baxter bus it I go kick like FIFA. Me I beg you rub it down with little ammonia. God forgive me for my sins and I'm a karma. Like a old car, God you know me need a starter. Right now, right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now. Alright. But I love 100 pound, a greatest reach my foot right now. Yeah. Now go like that would I could right now. 100 pound, a greatest touch my foot right now. Now go like that would I could right now. Right now. Right now, right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now. Yeah, me no shot.
Yo, me woulda love to have some jet fuel in my tank right now.
Yeah, man.
Now go like that would not good right now. Steaming sensey by the river banks right now. You know. Now go like that would not sweet right. Only there in a Texas extra frosty. QP Jara dwindle down to mash. Catch 2 pen left plus 3 grams of ash. But a 6 so we there so the ratio no match. See lassie, cut the apple in a 13 piece. So me have to try my best to share it evenly. But it's tougher than putting a collar on a beat. State of emergency, wait.
But I love 100 pound, a greatest reach my foot right now. Now go like that would I could right now. 100 pound, a greatest touch my foot right now. Now go like that would I could right now. Right now. Right now, right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now. Right now, right now, right now. Yeah, me no shot. If me get it, me I work it nice and slow. Farmer tell me don't I come no more and I might not grow. So.
Good morning, my friends. We are back inside the building. This is Brekky In The Cave. We are live via youtube.com/Cubcam TV. And we are joined by the first guest of the day. This is one I've been looking forward to doing for a long period of time. Ruben Da Silva joins us on the phone. How are you doing this morning, my friend?
Greetings, my brother. All is blessed.
Good to hear, man. That's good to hear. How are you doing today? You all good?
Yeah, not bad at all, bro.
That's good. That's what we like to hear. So we've got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, as I was saying before, I've given this one quite like a grand overall intro. This is one that I've definitely had on the books for a while. Obviously, being a Brighton resident for the vast majority of my life, I can't remember ever not living here. Seeing your name on posters all these years and then looking through and seeing different like releases you've been featured on, it's definitely an interview that I've wanted to get on the go for a while. So first of all, thank you for jumping on the line.
Thank you.
So let's take this back to sort of like the sort of beginning for you. Let's look at the kind of roots into what you do. So when did you first kind of realise that music was the thing you wanted to do in life?
When I was about 4 or 5, and I saw Elvis Presley singing in a film, "I just want to be your teddy bear," and I saw some screaming, and I thought, that's what I'm going to do when I leave school. But basically, music's been my passion all through my life ever since I was like I say, knee-high to a grasshopper, or as they say in Jamaica, when me eye down my knee. And yeah, like a passion throughout my life, and I believe it's my calling. Okay. And yeah, basically, like I say, my life has basically revolved around music, to be honest.
So when you say it's like revolved around it, what when you were looking at these sort of like earlier sort of times, then what were the sort of things you were getting involved in? Because I'm assuming it wasn't sort of system music straight from the off.
Well, no, like I say, because my parents used to listen to music from the 50s, I heard music like that, and like I say, I'm not ashamed to say that Elvis Presley was a big influence in my life. If it wasn't for the King, I wouldn't be who I am today. Okay. And basically, like I say, when I was little and I used to listen to rock and roll and Elvis, I used to listen to, you know, rhythm and blues, doo-wop, and so that's my heritage from when I was a child, really. And as a teenager, I got from kind of peer pressure of the older kind of teenagers that were around me at the time. They were listening to punk rock, and after a while I went down that road, because I thought, yeah, why am I listening to things that my grandparents would listen to? I want to be sort of, you know, keeping my finger on the pulse of what's going on now. So I went down the punk rock avenue, and that's what really brought me towards the road of reggae. That I'd say in about 1979 is when I first heard what I would call roots music with like biblical lyrics, and that started to like affect me, to be honest. And prior to that, I'd heard things like Uptown Top Ranking, On Top of the Pops, and I wasn't a reggae expert then, but I used to think when I heard reggae tunes, for example, See Me in Me Heels and Ting, I used to think, yeah, I like that tropical beat, not really knowing what it really was. And yeah, like I say, in about 1979 is when I first heard sort of Rastafarian roots reggae, and the thing that drew me to it was the fact that it contained biblical references in the lyrics. Okay. And basically that's how I sort of started on the red, gold and green road to Reggaeville.
Amazing, man. It's really cool to hear, because obviously when we look through the sort of like history of reggae music, we always see this big kind of comparison between punk and reggae in the UK. There was like a bit of a union between, is what we always sort of hear. Like
pop. Yeah.
So what was the sort of thing that kind of transferred you between the two?
Well, like I say, like you said, the punky reggae party, Bob Marley, it was like a melting pot back in those days. If you see movies like This Is England, you know, that's how it was when I was a teenager. Teenagers were very kind of tribal, and like I say, the punk rockers in those days were going to blues parties, listening to the music. The punk rockers were saying, you know, chant down the system kind of thing, and reggae was saying chant down Babylon. And like I say, it was like a marriage, like a unity sort of thing. Like the Clash, for example, covering things like Junior Mervin's Police and Thieves, and, you know, they had Mikey Dread was involved with the Clash, blah, blah, blah. But basically, is when I left school that I started to realise that reggae was the music for me, and I kind of let go of the punk thing. And that's when I got involved with a band called One Drop in Brighton, and basically I got involved at the same time with a reggae sound system, King Tafara Love Music, and like I say, the rest is history, Jay.
I mean, it's an amazing thing to kind of look back on and kind of go, like, this is essentially an entire period of musical history that you've lived through and been a part of. Like, when you kind of look back to those earlier sort of days, what would you say the main difference is now, sort of in a dance sort of side of things from then to now?
Well, basically, like I say, I'd heard reggae, but I'd never really been to sound system dance. And in about mid to late 1981, I was in a record shop digging through the crates like I do, because that's my musical passion and music ever since I was a toddler. And I remember being in a record shop. I can't remember which one exactly, but I remember flicking through the albums and looking up, seeing a poster on the wall saying Jamarcus sound system every Thursday night at the in-play. So that was it. I was there the following Thursday, and that was the first time that I ever sang on a sound. I remember asking Dave, the doorman, can I sing on the sound? And he looked round at me thinking like, sorry? And he said no. And the following week I went again and I asked Dave, and he said, hold on. And he spoke to Marcus Benjamin, the original godfather of all Brighton sound system. And Marcus said, yeah, it's only early, there's not really a lot of people here, let him. So I was past the mic, and like I say, I haven't looked back since.
I mean, that kind of first feeling of being past the mic in a dance, like regardless of how busy it is, like can you remember how it felt?
Yeah, I just wanted to be honest, I felt like a volcano. I just wanted to explode musically, and basically that's what I did. And like I say, that was the start of my relationship with King Tafari Love Music, with Marcus, Sister Dan, MC Trooper, Technician Levi, God rest his soul. And yeah, like I say, that's really the roots of my reggae activity, my reggae life in Brighton. So that would be about 1982, 3.
Wow. I mean, it's sick to kind of it's really, really cool to kind of go back and talk through all of this stuff. Like obviously you're not based in Brighton anymore, but like I'm assuming you look back on those sort of earlier times in Brighton with quite fond memories.
You hit the nail on the head, Jay. That's my roots. And, if you don't know your roots, then you can't know your fruits. And you understand what I mean? So that's my foundation, my building block. And I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not being, I don't want to brag or boast, but the foundation was solid. I'm not really dealing with a foundation built on sand that can get washed away in a flood.
Definitely.
And like I say, King Tafari was a massive part of my life. Every penny I had, I'd spend on music. I was the selector. I used to sing on the mic every now and then, and like I say, that was my life. In fact, it was, all the sound system members, it was our life. It wasn't a part-time hobby that we picked up at the weekend. It was a 24/7, 48/14, 365 liberty. You understand what I'm saying? And
definitely.
basically, I was really thankful to Jamarcus, the Godfather, who's now in Guyana, and yeah, like I say, that's my roots, and I'm proud of it, and ever thankful, eternally grateful.
I mean, it's awesome to hear all of this more than anything else, because obviously, as I was saying before, like growing up in Brighton from quite a young age, even in the sort of early 2000s, we're talking here, when I was sort of first sort of moving around sort of town, well, not early 2000s going out or whatever, but that was when I first sort of started understanding like what posters were and what they were for. And I remember seeing your name on posters then, so it's been like a very kind of colossal sort of extended period of time that you've been involved in this industry now, which is really, really sick to see. And what the beautiful thing about this whole conversation is now we have loads of music to run from yourself today, and that's something you're still very much involved in doing. You're still someone who is putting down vocals, which is sick to see. Let's get into one of these first tunes. First of all, we're going to get into a tune called Bless a Sound first. Talk to me about this one.
Bless a Sound. Basically, when I wrote the lyrics, inspired by my in Bobby from King's Hi-Fi, I'd voiced the lyric in a kind of competition clash mode called Killer Sound, and I played it to my brethren Barris. I goes, look what I just voiced for Tsunami or whoever I voiced it for, and he was nodding his head saying, yeah, that's bad. And then as he left, I said to him, but don't worry, I'll voice that killer sound thing for King's Hi-Fi as a special. And he turned to me, and he, as we were spudding and sort of saying goodbye, and he said, yeah, but don't worry about the killer sound thing. And I looked at him and I said, oh, what, you want the edifying version, you want the blesser sound, not killer sound? And he said, yeah, that's more like it. And that caused me to get the pen and the pad and adapt the lyric to blesser sound. And it was, like I say, it's reaching out to all conscious rootical sounds, basically.
Amazing, man. Well, we're going to get into this one. We're going to get into this one now, which is going to be wicked to do. And then we're going to carry on the conversation, looking into sort of new music you're playing at the moment, and the sort of new things you're involved in, and then sort of more to do with Brighton as well. So it's going to be a very enjoyable rest of this conversation. It's just gone 42 minutes past 10 here. We're live on Cubcam TV. New listeners, please do hit that subscribe button and hit like on the video as well. Oh, yes.
We're busy up build sound. Another time we kill sound. Busy up build sound. Hey. Skibba-dooba day, skabba-dooba-dooba day, skibba-dooba day, skabba-dooba day, skibba-dooba day, skabba-dooba-dooba day, skibba-dooba day, skabba-dooba day. Yeah, go bless our sound, Lord. Now go stress our sound, test no sound, boy. Bless our sound, Lord. Now go stress our sound, test no sound, boy. It's been so long. You're killing sound boys, slaughtering sound boys. So bless up your deck, bless your amplifier, bless up your box, bless your wire, bless your MCs, bless your selector, bless up your sound truck, bless the sound owner. Say them are the danger, but we are gonna bless up every stranger. We are bless up the senior, bless any sound man we're in ya. Big bad sound a boom up chillon. Oh well, tear up the plate from a dusk till dawn. Champion sound spring up in the lawn. Oh well, all you got to do, you better rock and come on. We are go bless our sound, Lord. Now go stress our sound, test no sound, boy. Bless our sound, Lord. Now go stress our sound, test no sound, boy. Busy up build sound, we not no time for kill sound. Busy up build sound, we not no time for kill sound. Hey.
All right then, friends, we're back inside the building. Out to everyone in the chat right about now. Out to Naomi, out to Carol as well, out to Hannah, out to Second to None Music locking in as well. We're going to be talking to those guys in just a second, out to the Vital Techniques boys. But for the time being, we are on the line with the legendary, the wonderful Ruben Da Silva, and we're going to be carrying on this conversation, looking into what you've kind of been working on since that more sort of early period. So we've covered those sort of earlier system days. But before we kind of move on, is there a dance from back in the day that really does kind of stick in the memory?
They all do. I couldn't pull one out of the hat, to be honest. But every time we strung up the sound, King Tafari and played, it was we looked at it then as we were doing like a spiritual work, because we were a Rastafarian sound called King Tafari Love Music. And like I say, if you're asking me, what was the best, I can't. There's no way I can pinpoint one exact time. But every time was a joy. And like I say, we were a community, it was our life, and as all sound system owners and members know, that's just how it is. When you've got a sound system, it's a full-time thing, because we're not in a part-time employment, you get me?
Definitely, man. And it's awesome to see kind of moving forward as well, that as we were saying, that there is still a lot of music being kind of pushed out there. So let's kind of fast forward a little bit to like what's happening now with yourself. So you're based in London now?
That's right, yeah, not far from Ladbroke Grove.
Nice. So in regards to sort of like putting music together then, like, are you still actively recording?
Yeah, I've been doing some recording recently with my son, JJ, and we've got a forthcoming single. It is due to release, I think, in next month, King's Hi-Fi, a track called No Love, which is out of the archives, but it's been given some up-to-date treatment by various producers and, you know, remixes and that, but that's due to drop, like I say, next month.
Sweet. I mean, when we're kind of looking through sort of new sounds then, like, obviously reggae as a whole, as a genre, is a sound that has lived on, shall we say, since its sort of earlier inception, and that sort of classic sort of layout of obviously half like syncopated chords, heavy bass lines and everything like that. That sort of bass structure of reggae is still very much there. Like, do you ever find yourself kind of drifting off to other genres, or is it still pretty much quite a strict reggae sort of sound for yourself?
Well, to be honest, like I say, reggae is my main love and has been since I was, like I say, a teenager. But I don't wear blinkers in music like a lot of people. Just, you know, they just listen to something and they don't want to listen to anything else. But like I say, I love good music. If a tune is a tune, it's a tune. Don't matter what genre it is, you know what I mean? That's the way I feel about music.
Definitely, man. I mean, in regards to sort of like other artists and stuff, obviously, because you're in somewhat of a veteran position now, we'll say, like in regards to sort of like system culture and stuff. Are there any other sort of artists you would say it'd be very valuable for the rest of us to look out for at the moment?
Well, to be honest, like I thought you were going to say, you know, who would you class as one of your top vocal inspirations? But there's so many, and at the moment, to be honest, again, I can't sort of whittle it down to just one or two artists. There's too many, Jay, and you know, off the top of my head, I can't just say, oh yeah, it's Brother Culture, or oh yeah, it's Judah Eskender Tafari. It's just a vast ocean of artists representing, you know.
Definitely, man. And I think more than anything else, the fact that there aren't necessarily two or three names, like a load of names that jump immediately to mind as front runners, when we are in a position where I'd say reggae music as a whole is seemingly quite healthy worldwide. And more than anything else, I feel system culture is very much something that is influencing the world of music more than ever before. Obviously, we're seeing all these sort of Instagram clashes going on, and obviously that is a direct sort of descendant of that sort of earlier system culture. Like, in regards to reggae music's influence worldwide, is that something you kind of look at and with almost like a proud kind of approach?
Definitely. I remember seeing an interview with Bunny Wailer years and years, you know, maybe 20 years ago, and I just remember Bunny Wailer saying something about the state of reggae at the time, and he said, yeah, I'm very pleased with what reggae has done, and to be honest, here I am 20 years later, and all I can do is reinforce what Bunny Wailer said. It's from the little island of Jamaica, which is literally a grain of rice in the global map. You know what I mean? It's just conquered the whole globe.
It's quite when you actually sit back and think about it as well, it is quite mad that you can kind of go, this tiny little place has essentially birthed so many genres, so many sort of pieces of cultural history that are now very much embedded in worldwide music, and almost like the children of those genres are now the leading things around the world. It's amazing to see. So kind of like looking back to yourself then, are you still sort of performing live? Is that still something you're involved with?
Yeah, I've done a couple of shows with a band called the UK Rhythm Squad, and that was kind of tied into dances like Lloyd Coxon and King's Hi-Fi, Culture B, and they were the last live shows that I'd done with the band. We had a few rehearsals and then took the show on the road, so to speak. But apart from that, the only other things I've been dealing with is singing on when my friends are DJing in like club nights, and they've asked me to, you know, come along and defend the mic or do a little guest slot, you know.
Definitely, man. I mean, is it still something you enjoy, the more sort of live side of things? Definitely,
yeah. But my real love, like I say, is the dancehall. That's where it's, you know, you make a record in a studio and you send it off to the producer, or the producer mixes it and it becomes a product. But my real heart, my real love is in the dance hall, where you feel the music because it's coming through a hardcore heavyweight rig.
Definitely, you know what I mean? Definitely, man. And I think that first time anyone steps in a dance and they actually feel like that idea of feeling music, the idea of actually hitting your chest and like reverberating off the inside of your chest as well. I think that sort of early feeling is something nobody ever really forgets.
That's right. It's
Definitely.
true.
We're going to jump into another tune next before we finish up because we've still got about 6 or 7 minutes left of this one. And this is a tune you sent over, and I'm absolutely loving this one. Goes by the name of Love Revolution. Talk to me about this one.
This is a tune produced by Marcus MPC from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, Digital Dubs, and basically he sent me the rhythm, and when he was in the UK I went and voiced it, and he was happy with the vocal but I wasn't, and then I came back to our yard and I revoiced it and sent the stems to him in Rio, and he was playing it for, I don't know, a few years. I think it was voiced in about 2010, maybe 11.
Wow.
And it didn't release till about 2014, but, you know, Marcus was playing it as a dub plate for a few years, and it didn't see a vinyl release, but it was, you know, downloadable on all platforms, so to speak. And the original blueprint of the actual song was a dub plate for my close brother, musical co-worker and colleague, Daddy P, and he built a cut of the Cuss Cuss rhythm, and I don't know, 2003, 4, in the days of Saddam Hussein and all that sort of Gulf War drama, and that's what inspired me to write the lyrics of, you know, war is not the solution, we need a love revolution. And like I say, Daddy P has the original blueprint of that years before the Digital Dubs crew from Rio had it, and like I say, when they sent me the Nina rhythm track, instantly I just thought, oh yeah, I was loving it. The bass line dropped, I thought, yeah, I can definitely work on this, and then it just came in my mind, Love Revolution, and I started to sing it, and I thought, yeah, it fits like a glove. So that's how that track came about, really.
Amazing, man. We're going to get into this one now. Out to all the locked-in crew right about now. As I said before, let us know where you're listening in from. Out to King's Hi-Fi, out to Hannah, out to Joy, and out to everyone else looking in this morning. It's sick to see so many of you in the chat. And what we're going to do is jump into this one and then round everything off straight afterwards. So do hit that subscribe button, hit like on the video as well, and don't go anywhere. It's Brekky in the Cave, and we are joined by Ruben Da Silva this morning.
Privatizing war. What are they fighting for, Lord? Privatizing war. We don't want no more, no. War is not the solution. We need a love revolution. War is not the solution. We need a love revolution. Can't you see? There's no democracy, no. Can't you see? Through the lies and hypocrisy, yeah. War is not the answer. Love is the only thing that can conquer. War is not the answer. Love is the only thing that can conquer. You got your life to live, so let go negative. Love you've got to give. Hold on positive. War is not the answer. Love is the only thing that can conquer. War is not the answer. Love is the only thing that can conquer. Need to take heed. Love is what we need in order to succeed. Yes. War is not the answer. Love is the only thing that can conquer. War is not the answer. Love is the only thing that can conquer. Privatizing war. What are they fighting for, Lord? We don't want no more, no. War is not the solution. We need a love revolution. War is not the solution. We Need a love revolution.
Fabulous stuff, that one, Love Revolution, Ruben Da Silva alongside the Digital Dubs crew. We're inside the building, out to all the locked-in crew this morning. This one's been an absolute pleasure to do. I've got to say thank you for jumping on the line, Ruben. This has been amazing. Oh, what a time for it to break. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to ring him back, because I think my signal just went. I don't know what's going on with my signal in here at the moment. What time for it to go? Really hoping we can get back on the line. Hello, can you hear me?
Hi.
There we go. We're back inside the building. There we go. We're still live. It's all good. So what I was saying is it's been really, really good to talk this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, first of all. So thank you again for jumping on the line.
Pleasure's mine, Jay. Trust me.
So what we're going to do is, I believe there's a bit of a shout out list we've got to get through towards the end of the show. So I'm going to pass it over to yourself, so we can get into these.
Okay. Well, basically, I just want to greet the massive, globally, nationwide, in the name of our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ. And basically, I need to big up Hannah Gangoon Fuller, Sister Dan and Tony, Juye Kessie, Omi Gad, Raddy B, Grandma and Peter, Jamarcus in Guyana, Pastors Derek and Paulette Wilson and the TCC family, Brother Philip included, Chaplain Jeff Coyne, all the Chatsworth Ward and RHN staff, Gad 59, Daddy P, Raddy B, Culture B, Gussie P, Neville Noyan, Marky Jalingua Lyrics, John Jones, King Bracket, Kettle Iron, Brother Culture, Dub Attack in Rio, Jesse James, Jesse Reggae Tarpa, Rebel Stepper in Russia, Sister Adelicia in Germany, Carol Asher, King Tafara Love Music, Adam Prof, Dave Ward, Rowdy Ranks, Roland Record, Mungo's Hi-Fi, Danny Greenman, Jody P, Beef, Jay, Darrison Buzz, Chopper Ranks, Mikey Foreigner, Mikey Drummer, Jamila Teresa, Father Reese Upster, Gaffer Blue, the Dub Vendor family, Nico Bush Doctor, Seb King's Hi-Fi Letton, Glennis and Gloria, Shireen, Owen, Elaine, Galena, Electric Joe, G-Flex, Jamila, Inner Sound, MC Trooper, Cecil Rubin, Joe Revelation Music, Alex and Karim, and Brother Culture, King Bracket, Carol Asher, Darrison, Chopper Ranks, Buzz, Mikey Foreigner, Father Reese Upster in Jamaica, and basically that's about it, I think.
I mean, no, that's a big list, I've got to say. Just as a final finish up question, like, do you feel you've in regards to reggae music in the UK, do you feel you've definitely made your mark on the scene?
To be honest, yes. Basically, yeah.
That's good to hear, though. That's what we like to hear. That's very much what we like to hear. And it's going to be a fantastic way to sort of round out the show. First of all, what is the best way for people to get over to yourself?
You can hit me up on Facebook. Basically, I don't deal with the Instagram. I do have a Twitter account, but I never really use it. So the Facebook connection is the way forward if you want to link me still.
Wicked. We're going to finish up with one more tune. This one goes by the name of On Behalf of the King, alongside Very Dub. Talk to me about this one as we finish up.
Basically, this is a track from, what's his name? Sorry. I've forgotten the brother's name, bruv. It was an instrumental that I got sent, and well, when I heard it, I thought, yeah, I can definitely work on this. And I wrote the lyrics on it. And when I sent it back, all the stems, the harmonies, double-tracked harmonies, and not long after, I got sent the final mix, and it really blew my mind because prior to voicing it, the rhythm track was just drum and bass, piano. And when I got the final mix, it featured this like amazing horn section that was added to it. And yeah, like I say, basically, it was only a digital download release. It never came on vinyl, but I'm very proud of it. And like I say, if it was on vinyl, I can guarantee it would have sold off. Trust me.
Wicked, man. Well, this is the perfect way to kind of round off this conversation, dude. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show this morning. Thank you once again, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you very much. The pleasure was all mine, Jay. God bless you, yeah?
Bless, man. We're going to finish up with this one. Varied Dub meets Ruben Da Silva. This one is on behalf of the King. Out to all my locked-in crew this morning. We're going to be jumping into a conversation with Vital Techniques in just a second. New listeners, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well. Let's keep the conversation going this morning, and don't go anywhere. It's Brekky in the Cave. Good morning, my friends. We're back on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky in the Cave. Out to all my locked-in crew this morning. Been an amazing show so far. Massive shouts out to Ruben Da Silva for passing through, bringing some real sort of history to the show, and giving us a few lessons in system culture, which is amazing. It's what I love to do on this show. We're moving on to guest number 2 now, which is going to make up the second part of what is going to be a fabulous overall podcast, which you can check out via the Breakfast with KXVU, the Interviews podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, or SoundCloud, or just by subscribing to this channel and checking the video back. It's up to you. We're joined by Vital Techniques this morning. Sorry, how are we doing this morning, my friend? Are we all good?
Yes. How are we doing, guys? Who's it?
What's good, man? How are you? You're full of energy.
Yeah, trying to be getting up early, trying to work out in the sun, keep active, keep our heads above water in these crazy times. How are you keeping, sir? I'm good, man. I'm good. As I was saying off air, I'm really enjoying the show this morning. It's been a good start to the day, a good start to the week, I feel, as well, which is what we all like. It's a good thing to have a nice show to kick off the week, I feel. It is indeed. Well, salute to you. You're doing a cracking job, lad. Thank you, sir. That's very kind. And as are you. I've got to say, with the things that you guys have got going on at the minute with Vital Techniques, I'm seeing the name everywhere. I'm seeing second to none everywhere as well. And we've got loads to talk about, which is going to make for an amazing 30 minutes of conversation. So, as always with these shows, I like to go back to the beginning to begin with. Talk to me about the sort of early days of production for yourself. Like, how did you first sort of get the ball rolling? Well, we both ended up on pirate radio in Leeds on Frequency FM. We were both doing drum and bass originally, DJing as solo acts, and it was in 2010. Liam, my little brother, came to me with a tune and was like, can we try and make this better? There's a good idea there. So we jumped on a tune together. It ended up winning a competition and getting signed. We were like, we've got something here. Let's do an alias. We ended up making another 4 tunes that got signed. And the rest is history. The ball was rolling and we haven't looked back since. It's been everything 130 to 140 bass driven music, I guess.
Wicked, man. So Vital Techniques as a brand then is you and is he your brother?
My little brother, yeah.
I mean, that's sick to see. Like, first of all, from the off, like, obviously you were both making music then from quite early on, it seems. Like, what was the thing that first sort of drew you together? Was it literally just being on radio at the same time?
Well, being the older brother, I was proud to see my younger brother following in the footsteps, and I didn't even need to coach him, guide him. He taught himself everything. We're both self-taught, but just seeing the creative drive that he had, it was admirable. And like I said, when we got in the studio together, it just worked. And we didn't plan it. It just was a natural progression, and it just seemed like it originally just started as a side alias to the drum and bass that we were doing under Antics and Vector. And it just took a hold, and it just ran miles. So it seemed the natural progression to keep rolling with it, I guess.
Wicked, man.
We started off, like, we obviously started off with drum and bass, separate artists. It started off with myself just watching Ant DJ before I even DJed, and I just picked it up through the art of watching. Tried it myself. I used to try it when he was out of the house. I'd jump on his decks, have a little go, picked it up like that. And like I say, once I got a slot on Frequency FM as well, we had separate shows. I was on with a few of my mates back in the day, and it just went from there. And as Ant said, we started making music together when I brought a tune to him and just said, look, this needs to be made better. I was using Reason 3 at the time. We're going back sometime.
I was going to say, well, that is a real blast from the past if we're talking Reason 3.
Yeah, so it was just a matter of taking a tune from Reason, going over to Ants using Logic 9, I believe, at the time, and then just took it from there. I mean, salute to the guy who was 15 years old on pirate radio. He was getting club sets and not even allowed to drink.
I love that, man. And I think as well, that sort of early commitment to essentially dance music culture is something that does kind of bleed into the rest of your life, and it does kind of give you it gives you a real commitment to the sound, I feel.
That's it, indeed. It was the start of something special, really. Like music, you'll know anyway. Music gets a grip of you, and it becomes everything that you dream and think about every single day. So it's an absolute honour, to be honest.
Wicked, man. I mean, like, kind of looking back then, like when we're talking about like this sort of earlier period of working together, what sort of time frame year-wise are we talking at this point?
Well, Vital Techniques started, I think our first release was October 2010. So we're going into the 10-year mark now.
I mean, that's...
for Vital Techniques anyway, and then a few years before that doing the drum and bass. So yeah, we've been in the music game a while now for whatever avenue.
I mean, the thing is, I remember going back years and years and years. I remember back when I was still very much a youngster, like playing in clubs or whatever. Similar position, obviously not being able to, not supposed to be in clubs, shall we say. So I was there in spirit. That's what we'll say, to keep everything nice and proper. But yeah, there was times when I remember when I was in venues quite early on. And the thing I found was, a lot of the time when I was looking for music, I was finding Vital Techniques tunes then. And I think we were actually in conversation at the time, all the way back then as well, about sending music backwards and forwards, which was quite a madness. So we're talking like 10 years. 10 years of... yeah,
indeed. 10 years strong.
Which is sick to see. There was a remix I remember from back in the day, which I believe, unless I'm very much mistaken, was there a Miss Dynamite remix somewhere?
Yeah. Wow, I remember that one. Yeah, that's the reason I can remember the Logic. I can remember the file on Reason and wanting to take it into Logic to get it better once we progressed a bit. That's one of the first things that we heard playing in like commercial clubs in Leeds. So you're talking your commercial student bars and clubs where we've got real commercial. And that's the first tune that we heard like getting dropped by some DJs around Leeds in like I say, your real commercial bars and clubs in the city centre. So that was like the start of us stepping up. It felt.
Okay, sweet. Like, talk to me about Leeds then, because obviously we're at a point now where Leeds is one of the real hubs of the UK for realistically talent, be it producers, be it MCs, be it DJs. It seems to be that a lot of people and projects are now based in Leeds, and a lot of the sort of UK culture is very, very busy in Leeds. So, talk to me about growing up there, like in regards to musical stuff. Were there sort of opportunities to get involved with? Oh, I think we lost him. I definitely need to get my signal looked up because this keeps happening and it's not the best thing in the world. Let's ring him back. Because it connects again as soon as you ring back. It's very, very bizarre. Cubcam TV, people. We're doing things nice and DIY. That's how we like to keep things working. There we go. The ringing's happening again. I should get a pickup in just a second. But yeah, there we go. We're back inside the building. There we go.
Yeah, it was just getting to know the people that are most closely involved with the scene, buying the records every Friday. And then, yeah, eventually we were at the right place at the right time and ended up on Frequency FM, a pirate station, through being in Tribe Records. And, yeah, the rest was history then. So there's always been a big hub for underground dance music in Leeds, and it's always had the right people pushing it. And it's just knowing the right people, being in the right place at the right time, I guess.
Amazing, man. Well, we're going to jump into the first track on today's listing. We've got 3 bangers to play, so I want to make sure we're squeezing all of them in. This one goes by the name of Ring the Alarm. Talk to me about this tune.
Oh, this one, yeah. This is one of the exclusives that we've sent you. We just recently finished this one, actually. We're not quite sure what output is going on yet. We've got a few options, but it's just an absolute banger. One of our probably best productions that we've done. And yeah, pure dubplate business, absolute dance floor smasher. We're a bit gutted, to be honest. We've been making so much music at the minute, and without having the clubs to road test it, it's so disheartening. But luckily, we've got people like you that can help us push it out to the people. So
well, I'm glad. I'm very glad to help in regards to this, and I get music from it, so I win either way.
There you go.
Let's get into this one then. Ring the Alarm. This one coming from Vital Techniques, who we're on the phone with till around 11:30. Don't go anywhere. It's Brekky in the Cave. We're live on Cubcam TV. Oh yes. Right then, friends, that one there coming from Vital Techniques, Ring the Alarm. We're live on Cubcam TV. Out to all my locked-in crew this morning. It's been a very enjoyable show so far. Out to Sugar Demas, and out to Joy, out to Carol, out to Hannah, locked in as well. Out to the King's Hi-Fi crew, of course. Out to MC Peen as well. How are you doing this morning, my friend? We're going to be looking through the sort of next stage with this interview now then. So we're going to look into Second to None. A very well-established imprint up in Leeds, and an imprint which feels to me as though it's going through a bit of a resurgence in the last sort of few months. Talk to me about the label. How did it first come together?
Well, it was a case of when we started doing the Vital Techniques thing, we saw the hassle that can come with trying to get tunes on labels, getting masters back that you're maybe not happy with, the long process that it can be quite drawn out at times, and you might not get the release out as quick as you would like. So I always had the idea of wanting to start our own imprint and be able to push things independently, and it just came from an idea. I was working at an outreach company at the time, helping to teach DJing and production to like underprivileged youths that were going through struggles and stuff, and it kind of developed there as an idea with the help of a few other people, and just had the idea, put a business plan together, applied to a top distribution company and got granted with it, and just a case of learning along the way, I guess, teaching yourself, finding out the errors and mishaps along the way, learning from them, and progressing naturally with that, I guess.
Definitely, man. I think now I'm someone who's a very big advocate of learning to do things for yourself, like learning to pick up skill sets and stuff, primarily so you don't have to shell out a ton of money for other people to do it, and you can actually do it yourself. But more so you understand every element of your project. In regards to like, this is something I always encourage people to do when they come to me for advice or whatever. I'll always say, learn to do artwork yourself. Teach yourself the basics of video editing. Like, teach yourself how a profit and loss sheet works. Like, all of these things that go into a sort of labels running. Would you say you're quite like that in the way you set stuff up?
Definitely. We both have degrees in multimedia technology, so that gave us the foundation, I guess, to have the knowledge for, like you say, artwork, videos, websites. So we both had the right ingredients to get this up and running. We've both got the same degree. We've just followed each other's footsteps, I guess.
I mean, that's sick to see, though. I mean, what we tend to see a lot of the time is people going in to start labels with more sort of business degrees more than anything else. So the idea you've kind of gone into it with that more sort of media sort of minded approach. Like, would you say that's something that's kind of differentiated you in the way you've approached things?
Yeah, definitely. I think this day and age, you can't just be a DJ and producer. You've got to be a marketing agent. You've got to be a brand, social media expert, all sorts. So many different keys that you need. And going down that creative route and spending 3 years each at uni, to get the creative arts knowledge, if you like, using Photoshop, using all of your video software for us to be able to create good, solid material for the label. It's been helpful and obviously saved money along the way as well, like we were discussing before. You have full control over your brand, then you want everything to be as you have it in your head, and whilst you can outsource, sometimes you might not always get the end result that you want. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, we do outsource certain things just purely to save time more than anything. With being so busy, obviously you've got the Vital Techniques, second to none, all the different social medias for each. It becomes a very busy life, really. So it's just more about having a hold of your brand as a whole, I guess.
Definitely, man. I think the thing that does stand out about Second to None is, as well, more than anything else, is you're not you guys definitely aren't afraid to kind of bring in someone new and, shall we say, untested in regards to releasing music. A good example of this that I've seen were the recent sort of compilation projects you put out with featuring one L. Laurie, I believe his name is.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we. I'm not just going to go for names when it comes to releases. If the talent is there, I want to push people who have the drive and the talent to make something of themselves. And when you get these releases through from people that you've not maybe heard of before, to people as we've been helped in the past, I guess.
Definitely, man. I think as well, with Second to None being a pretty well-established imprint at this point, do you feel a certain level of responsibility when it comes to putting new music out there?
To an extent, I guess, but at the same time, I've also been not guided by the in commas, like, the guidelines. Like, there was at one point where if you were drum and bass, you had to be drum and bass. If you were bassline, you had to be bassline. We've always liked so much music, and our sets have always been quite versatile. We like to do the journey, the garage, the grind, the bassline, dubstep. We like so much music, so we want to be able to push whatever we enjoy, I guess, is the fundamentals behind it, really. So we've never been restricted to what the norm is. We've always just done what we felt was right. If we like something, it's the quality of the music that we've looked out for, and if the quality's there, regardless of the name, we're always looking to help people. If they're creating quality tunes, we're looking to push it out to the audience.
Definitely, man. It's sick to see, and I think with the Second to None imprint being as established as it is, and as well as respected as it is as a platform, I think that's definitely something you've achieved. We're going to jump into something very special next. Obviously, we had a new single drop on Friday, and this one is it's a bit of a rally track. It's a bit of a madness when we kind of look through all of the people involved in it. Talk to me about this tune, Sayagwan.
Yeah, this one. Very proud of this project. Actually, it was pretty much just under a year ago that Sir Spyro had all three of the artists on Grime on Tour on his One Extra show, and was showcasing Yorkshire. And we've known all three of these artists. They live very close to us. Known them for years, and we just saw a raw opportunity, I guess, to do something that Leeds has needed for a while, and that's bring the artists together and push out as a unit. It's power in numbers, you know. So we wanted to get some of the best names in Leeds together, and just put out a Leeds anthem. I guess it's got that old school, like, grime, that real raw energy of grime, what it used to be in the original days. And we just wanted to get that feel across with some of the hottest talent in Leeds. So, and big up to Sir Spyro. He supported this on his show on the weekend. So everything's come to fruition. The vision that we had has ended up what we imagined it would. So yeah, this is a very proud project of ours. There's a music video out now for it on JDZ Media on YouTube if people want to check that out afterwards. And yeah, it's out now to buy, stream on all digital platforms if you're feeling this high energy grind vibe.
Dude, I'm looking forward to getting into it. It's definitely a wicked tune as well. Just before we jump into it though, how important do you feel that that sort of bringing together of artists is? Because you as an outfit when it comes to production, it seems to be a big theme of what you do. Well, to me it seems like you're very keen to have like different combinations of MCs involved.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, we've never been ego driven, or none of that has ever come into for us. It's all about the passion of music. A lot of people have helped us in the past, and the layout that we've been able to give ourselves, if we can help anyone else that's got the talent, we just want to give everyone else a platform like we've had. If we can share our knowledge and our platforms, then if you've got the talent, we're willing to help. So anyone out there listening, if you've got music, feel free to send it. We listen to everything we're sent. We just want to help people who are as driven and as passionate as we are about the bass music scene in general, I guess.
Wicked, man. I'm looking forward to this one then. This one goes by the name of Sayagwan, Vital Techniques, alongside the sounds of Graft, Irish Paddy and Dialect. Don't go anywhere. It's Brekky in the Cave, and we are live on the line with Vital Techniques.
Vital Techniques. Being able to step away from it all and just be who I want to be. I needed that, like I said, for 10 years, and even before that, all I've done is this. I still know what's important, and what's important is just putting this stuff out there and making people feel good. Yeah.
My controller, sexy via handler, cause I got waistline moves like Bangla. Fizzy pop flows on a beat like Fanta. Eating my yard, then I'm out like Santa. Sunday dinner, that's white rice, sake and saltfish, plantain and dumpling. That's why man hold whip when I'm thumping. I know I'm the best, so tell him I'm something. If I start, then get back, take off your head back. Beef man left that, deal with the enemy and head back. Me not have time for no setback. £1 billion can't stop till I get that. I'm Jamaican, not Nigerian. Black man, dissing black man, I'm not hearing them. When they try press me, biggest mistake, cause Egypt boys ain't fearing them. Right on the beat, say I go on. Lyrics them bust for your head, say I go on. Make man run to in bed, say I go on. Should've fought twice instead, say I go on. So looking at me rotted palm. Touch my mother, then you're dead, say I go on. One last sleep in your bed, say I go on. Should've stayed home with your friends, say I go on.
They said their ends ain't that nice. Riddled with hogs and guns and knives. Say they catch them if the price is right. Ain't catching nothing, they're talking shite. Shout to my brothers in the bin doing life. Look, if you know, then you know. Shout out to my brothers in the bin soon home. And if it's war, don't pick up the phone. Any violations coming to your home. Any violations coming to your gas. Doors off hinges, windows smash. Drown and burst man's head off the tap. Don't come around here acting flash. I'm from the 6 where we tell a man Nash. Don't come around here acting flash. I'm from the 6 where we tell a man, tell a man, tell a man.
Right on the beat, say I go on. Lyrics them bust for your head, say I go on. Make man run to in bed, say I go on. Should've fought twice instead, say I go on. So looking at me rotted palm. Touch my mother, then you're dead, say I go on. One last sleep in your bed, say I go on. Should've stayed home with your friends, say I go on.
Man grew up in LS7, we're back chilling in LS shelling. Remember them times when the old fresh lemon selling, making it ring like weddings are winning. Lit them my phones been belling, yelling. Think that it's over with Ellen, Sophie, Rosie and Erin. Nick one call man, owe me and Erin. It's mad, I've been putting these on the map, so G's can't see why I'm at no Stevie. No fear in the crash, so greasy. Old glow, babe in the grass like Pano. Smoke no ammo. Man, no breaking bones and marrow. Jano, staying on point like arrows. Man, no lick off your head like Gallo. Vamos.
Right on the beat, say I want. Lyrics them boss for your head, say I want. Make man run to in bed, say I want. Should've fought twice instead, say I want. So, looking at me rocket dog. Touch my mother in your bed, say I want. One last sleep in your bed, say I want. Right on the beat, say I want. Lyrics them boss for your head, say I want. Make man run to in bed, say I want. Should've fought twice instead, say I want. So, looking at me rocket dog. Touch my mother in your bed, say I want. One last sleep in your bed, say I want. Should've stayed home with your friends, say I want. Say I want. Lyrics them boss for your head, say I want. Say I want. Should've fought twice instead, say I want. So, looking at me rocket dog. Touch my mother in your bed, say I want. One last sleep in your bed, say I want. Should've stayed home with your friends, say I want. My controller, this is the one we told you. My controller, this is the one we told you. My controller.
Right then, friends, we're back inside the building. We're moving towards the end of the show. It's been a fabulous one this morning. I've got to say, I've very much enjoyed this one. We're on the line with Vital Techniques, our second guests of the day. First of all, thank you again for coming on the show this morning. It's been really good to kind of chat and get a bit of background on what you guys do. So yeah, thank you.
Pleasure. Thanks for having us.
No worries, man. It's always good to keep these shows. What I actually quite like is the fact that we're able to keep shows quite varied in styles. Obviously, we started off with Ruben, sort of very much reggae legend status in what he does, and now we're moving over to much more almost like the descendant of that original sort of sound in sort of grime and bass music. It's been quite a nice flow of sound, which is really, really sick to see. So what we're going to do next is let's talk about the future, because we've got a few minutes left. What's on the way from yourselves?
Well, like I said, we're just going to keep pushing this See You Guam release for a few more weeks, and then the following project after this is on second to none anyway, is the Bun Up the Ting Remixes EP. We did a funky release recently with our frontman, our host MCP, another Leeds veteran, been smashing it for years alongside me, back to the drum and bass, into the more bass-driven music, and yeah, we did that funky release with him. So we've got a big remix EP coming featuring Soul Lecter, J69, Jack Sparrow, Subla Hertz, Danny T and Tradesman, a proper variation garage, bassline, dubstep, drum and bass, like a proper solid remix EP, something for everyone on there.
That's
so
sick,
the next big project on second to none.
Wicked, man. I mean, that layout of artists, just to begin with, you've got so many people who are like certified in their field, like with the remixes on that. When you're hunting for remixes, what do you look for in the artists that you try to get involved?
Well, talent, firstly, obviously, people that we know can bring something good to the table. We wanted to keep it quite versatile. Reliability is a huge one. As you'll know, trying to chase artists down, it can be a bit of a nightmare. You need someone that you know is going to turn it around. Like big up to J69, turned it around in literally less than a day. So massive big ups to J69 on that. Yeah, I guess... yeah, reliability being a key one. It's not always easy if you get given a project. You might catch the vibe, you might not. But yeah, I guess as well, people that we talk to, people that we have that kind of bond with, that you can talk to just on a daily basis about normal things as well. Like just good people, passionate people with the same kind of drive and ethics that we have, I guess.
I mean, well, that's quite a good thing to look for, and I think as well the fact that you try to align the label with people who are like yourselves. I think just in general as a model that makes a lot more sense, because it means you're going to be looking for similar things. You know, you're going to be trying to achieve similar things, and it just makes sense alignment-wise.
That's it. And then on the side to second to none, on the 5th of June, we've got a UK garage release out on a compilation on Strictly House and Garage. Big up to Skills and all the Sheffield crew.
Very nice.
That's the first track on that compilation. Very, very proud of that one. It's got a lot of good feedback. And we've also just had a 4-track dubstep EP signed by DJ Hatcher.
Oh, wow.
Coming out on his own imprint, Hatched. So yeah, keeping it versatile, keeping things moving, lots of releases in the pipeline. So yeah, keep your ears to the ground, I guess.
Amazing, man. I mean, it's sick to hear. It's sick to hear about how versatile you're keeping it as well, because I know that as a production outfit, you are definitely a duo that like to keep things like varied. Just before we finish up the show, let's kind of look through this then. If we're going to talk, obviously there aren't that many raves popping at the minute, so let's kind of finish up with a bit of nostalgia, because that's always quite fun to do. What's the maddest thing you've seen happen in a dance?
Oh, the maddest thing we've seen happen in a dance. Well, probably one of the craziest and most actually a bit upsetting was someone pulling out our USB mid-set and taking it.
It's the nightmare.
The standalone, heartbreaking. The CDJ goes on an automatic emergency loop. And luckily, we managed to find the USB at the end of the rave, just on the middle of the floor, once the dance hall had cleared. But obviously, it ruined the set. It was a bit of a heartbreaker mid-set when you're fully in the vibes. That was definitely one for the memory books, I think.
That's an atrocious thing. I'm sorry. I thought we would get like quite a fun and then there was jumping around and stuff. No, someone pulled out the USB stick and ruined the fun for everyone else.
Definitely one that sticked in our head. So now we've got it on one of the necklace fob kind of things. The USB's on there, and we took it under one of the legs of the CDJs. So if anyone tries to pull it out, it's going to quickly get caught back.
Nice. Oh, that's a wicked tip though. That's a wicked tip.
Yeah,
I would
USB guys.
would never have thought of that, but there we go. Wicked way to finish off the show then. We're going to finish off with this one. Obviously, the remix EP is coming for this one, so we're going to run the original as a good outro. This one is Vital Techniques and MCP with Bun Up the Ting. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on this morning. I'm really looking forward to seeing everything that is on the way, and we'll speak soon.
Thanks for having us, guys. Take care, everyone. Have a blessed bank holiday.
Good stuff, guys. We're going to finish up with this one then. Bun Up the Ting, Vital Techniques alongside MCP. It's been Brekky in the Cave. We're going to finish up with this one tomorrow. I can safely say we're going to be joined by two wonderful guests again. We've got Drinks on Me joining us alongside Trends, so it's going to be a wicked way to start the Tuesday morning. As the boys just said, enjoy your bank holiday, and we will see you same time tomorrow morning. That's 10 till 11:30 in the AM. We've run a little bit over today, but why not? It's my show. I can do what I like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit like on the video as well, leave a comment, all of that good stuff, and we will speak soon. Oh yes.
Burn up the thing, turn up. Burn up the thing, turn on up. Burn up the thing, turn up. Burn up the thing, turn on up. Burn up the thing, turn up. Burn up the thing, turn on up. Burn up the thing, turn up. Burn up the thing, turn on up. Yo, pull up the thing, burn up the thing, turn up. We're too dangerous, my bedroom. Yo, pull up the thing, burn up the thing, turn up. We're too dangerous, my don. Yo, pull up the thing, burn up the thing, turn up. We're too dangerous, my bedroom. We're too dangerous, my bedroom. Smell the swag when I ride in. The dumb dad leads, bad man a glide in. No bother, I will run up in your manor with a fresh new jam and shout. Yo, that's my thing. And my team's exciting. Watch it flare up the rave, lighting. Couple shots, I will shot like lightning. We put in the work, no lighting. Feel the grease when I roll out. I rep lead, spit fire when it's cold out. Cold rise, strict MC dives when I brawl out. Tell a man, you don't wanna fall out. The way my gang set the stall out. Put the work in, you will get more out. Check the diary, balling, sold out. What catch a man stalling, no doubt. What catch a man sleeping, no way. My tracks gas up the rave like propane. Hijack, mash up your dome like cocaine. Stack cash in my zone with no shame. Don't chat to me down with no game. Must be mine. Give a damn, no way. Don't think you're a G-Stack, no way. Man, I rep all number 1 3 all day. Burn up the thing, turn up. Burn up the thing, turn on up. Burn up the thing, turn up. Burn up the thing, turn on up. Burn up the thing, turn up. Burn up the thing, turn on up. Burn up the thing, turn up. Burn up the thing, turn on up. Yo, pull up the thing, burn up the thing, turn up. We're too dangerous, my bedroom. Yo, pull up the thing, burn up the thing, turn up. We're too dangerous, my don. Yo, pull up the thing, burn up the thing, turn up. We're too dangerous, my bedroom. We're too dangerous, my bedroom. Catch the vibe when I bless my roll with swag, got fight along deck light. Roll up, I got mighty, says next height. No, we bad and filthy, best set light. Dressed to impress light. I'm out on a date with your ex-wife. On to the next night. Check my phone and I've got couple text lights. You bring the vibe in, alright. Touch mic levels are more lively, all night. Big bitch level but grimy, more vibe. Get dark on the man, more light. Get a pic for the gram, more lights. And I got weed from the dam, it's alright. Got what you need from the dance, raw light, alright. Whenever the hydrochloride. Yo, on to the next thing. You might see me in your ends, flexing. Y'all try a thing when I might man steps in. Blessed in, fresh new creps that I'm testing. Cause my team's interesting. Type of thing promoters invest in. Get to know if you want the best in. UK based man are not resting.